Well, good evening and welcome to My Psychic Connection. I am your host, Journey Ryan. I'm here with Marin. Marin, how are you tonight?
Hello, I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Hi, Kimmy. How are you tonight? Holly, who normally joins us, is feeling a little under the weather, so I'd like everybody to send a little bit of healing energy to Holly if you could. Say a little prayer for her so she recovers quickly. She's a little bit sore and she said she would be nothing but a puddle of mud for us tonight, so we're going to let her rest up and feel better for us, so when she comes back on our next show, she'll be feeling just fine. All right, guys. The thing is that the energy is definitely a bit frustrating here recently, and I've noticed that some people were talking about them feeling frustrated while they're sleeping. So they're waking up and they're feeling the same frustrations that they feel awake when while they're awake, and then going to sleep, getting frustrated again, and then waking up still frustrated.
Yeah, there has been kind of a staticky energy. I'm also having messy dreams. I don't even know how to explain that, but they're messy. And so, I don't know what is in the air right now. I think, wasn't there some astrological thing that happened on Monday? So
Yes, Jupiter and Saturn came together.
yes, I'm wondering if that's affecting the communication, or there's kind of a staticky vibrationally thingy. I call it kachi kachi, where it's kind of staticky. So anyway, I have my own expressions. But so what I was going to say is, if you have a dream that you would like to bring forward, please keep it as a snippet, keep it as brief as possible, and then we can work on that particular segment of the dream. And again, with dreams, I usually ask a lot of questions. So, with your dream snippet, try and provide, as much information as you can. For example, I was walking through a forest. Was it green? Was it daytime? Was it nighttime? And I saw an animal run by. Was it a big one? Was it a bear? Was it a mouse? Just kind of, a little bit of specifics, and that way the dream images are drawn forward. I invite them to come forward. I don't reach in and grab your images. I invite them forward, and we can have a conversation with them. The other thing I was going to mention, and I will mention this every week, is to have a dream journal by your bed, and try and wake up as slowly as you can, and just kind of remember that dream snippet and write it down, because when you go back into the dream, it does come forward, and you'll start to remember a little bit more about it. um, and and of course, when you go to sleep, this is going to be weird to say, but try not to go to sleep tired. Try not to go to sleep exhausted, because somehow that kind of deadens the dream story. Go to bed relaxed, and with the intention of remembering a dream, or with the intention of dreaming. And that way the dream, will flow forward instead of just fall flat. So, these are just little tips that I'll just kind of mention every week. Anything else, Ryan?
Yeah, the dream journals too, when you're writing in the dream journals, if you are part of the technological people who like to have their tablets or their cell phones with them, and you wake up and you'd rather tell yourself the story, there's recording devices that you can use as a dream journal. There's also an app, which I've been meaning to get for you. But the thing is that, you know, you can download dream journal apps and talk to yourself in there. You can video record yourself. There's many different ways to have a dream journal. So there's no wrong way to have a dream journal. I have a lady who she keeps paper like that brown paper that you make paper bags out of. She
Yeah.
has it on her nightstand. She says she wakes up so quickly that she doesn't have a chance to grab a book, but she's got a wax pencil and that paper, and she writes what she gets when she
Oh,
wakes
good.
up immediately. So it's really interesting. So, all right, guys, if you have a dream question for us tonight, please do not hesitate to ask those questions in the comment section. If you're on YouTube, subscribe and ring the bell so you know that when we're on, and you can see when we do the psychic readings. And on Thursday nights we do dream interpretation. If you have a dream question, we'll answer that tonight. All psychic question, either stay for the website tonight or come back when we do psychic readings, which we will be back. Tonight is our last show until the 31st, and then we will be back after that, bringing in the new year and getting our shows back on track. But we'd like to give all the people here the opportunity to spend times with their family. Plus, it's the holiday season. Just gives you that nice little break to feel fun and relaxed, and, you know, don't have to do too much or overwhelm yourself. Because I know I've got two weeks that I have a million and one things I got to do. So one less thing is good.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
But Kay, I see you had a question in the in here. So go ahead and explain your dream. That way we can work on it with Marin, and that way it'll be easier for her to know what you're talking about. As you and I have talked about your dreams before, she would like to get an idea. So go ahead and explain that to her. It's easier coming from the person who had the dream versus the person that's heard the dream. And for anybody else that's out there that's like Kimmy, if you have a dream question, please let us know. If you have vivid dreams, do you feel your dreams? Because there are dreams where I have fallen in a dream. Let's say I fell and I hit my knee, and I would wake up out of a dead sleep, and I have realized that my knee is throbbing.
Yeah, yeah. It's amazing how the brain will capture that kind of feeling, you know. And it's amazing how dreams will also capture the fear, the hunger, the flying sensation, the G-force,
Yeah.
you know, and you're not doing anything. I think it's wonderful. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was just like, wow, I felt that from my dream.
Yeah. Dreams really do speak in puns or
Yeah.
metaphors or symbols.
Mhm.
And so, you know, they reflect all parts of our psyche. And that's why I love the dream story, because if it's something that you just can't, you just
Yeah.
can't make it, and, you know, uh, um, I love to kind of pull that apart. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah. Um,
All right. We've got a question from Christina. It says, "Hi, Journey and Marin. Last night I had a dream of me just crying. Mind you, before I went to bed, I did a meditation for healing. In my dream, it was daytime also."
okay, so it was a dream of just crying. Um, okay, you know, so what I'd like to ask is it a crying of sadness and despair? Was it a crying of joy? Was it a fearful crying? Um, And then in what context was the crying? Where were you at the time? Were you standing, sitting? Where were you is what I'd like to ask.
It's a good question. And she did the meditation for healing just prior to going to sleep to have that dream.
Because I'm just gonna, this is just a side note. When you prepare to go to sleep and you're focusing on a healing, but then the crying comes forward. So what was it that is still there, that is still coming forward as a crying kind of action? Because it could also be the ego part that says, I would like healing. I need this. But then the spirit part.
So it's right. I saw myself crying, and it was a cry of release. I was walking around in my old neighborhood.
So I'm wondering then is if it's a crying of release and it's walking around in an old neighborhood. I'm wondering, is it past memory? And it doesn't have to be, a neighborhood like a city, like, when you go to different areas, there's kind of a different vibe. There's a different feeling. So it could either be a neighborhood, or was there something in waking life that reminded you of a memory? And so a cry of release, was it something that was, pent up, or it was a bad memory and then the crying released that tension? So, I'm asking a lot of questions. But if it's a cry of release, is that the dream self saying that, these are old wounds. These are wounds that were in the neighborhood. And so let's cry this out. Let's purge it. Tears, water, a purification, a baptism kind of thing. So I guess I'm just asking, what does cry of release mean? And does that resonate?
In my dream, also Ivan showed up and wiped my tears and hugged me.
So now I would ask, who is Ivan? Is this a person that you deeply respect? Is this a protector? Is this a person that has empathy? Because it's what I'm seeing is wiping of the tears and hugging.
Yes, it felt like past emotions being released.
Okay. So that pretty much that is what I'm saying resonating with you? Just that being in an old neighborhood.
Ivan is my first love and came back into my life.
Oh, so the pureness of love. When we think of old lovers, or of past people, it was that beautiful feeling, that first love kind of feeling that perhaps we yearn for in waking life. Or was there something in waking life that reminded you of an old love, and something that's desired, something that you'd like to feel a hug with? So that's actually a very beautiful dream. Thank you for bringing that forward.
Absolutely. It's definitely the love came in. She's releasing the old. The dream is helping her with that release. So it's definitely,
Yeah. And when I talk about dreams, I try and look at the medicine. And
Mhm.
so what I'm seeing or what I'm sensing from this kind of dream is the medicine is a hug, is that release, and is that it's okay, you know. So that's really a wonderful dream. Thank you very much.
She said, I heard a song in Walking Life that reminded me of him.
So then I wonder if that's kind of what triggered that feeling in waking life. There's that again. There's neighborhoods that you go into, a song that will take you into a different kind of feeling. Um, for me, the music of my day was Motown and blues, and
I love
you know,
that.
so when I hear music like that, it just takes me back to a growing time. I don't know if it was it was an interesting time. Thank you very much. Very welcome.
All right, guys, if you'd like to share one of your dreams with us or have something about a dream that you have a question about, please don't hesitate to put it in the comments section. We'll be more than happy to touch base on that for you. Well, like I had told you, I had my dreams where being in buildings and there's nobody there. That's just trees, no animals, leaves on the ground. I remember the wind blowing, and then I would walk and I would find these big patches of energy. And when I do that, I walk and I meet and in waking life, I will meet somebody of strong-willed gifts, psychic strong, but they're hiding and they don't realize what type of gifts they actually have to share with the world. And I get the opportunity and the chance to bring them on the website or bring them here on the show and allow themselves to shine and give the world a chance to see who they are and see their beauty. And the last time I had that dream, I met Holly.
Mm-hmm.
And here recently, I just had that dream a couple nights ago. So I'm getting ready to meet the next spiritual person that's about to walk in, because with Holly, I ran into the one light, but there was many little orbs that followed behind it. So there was connections to her that would make a better, stronger connection, and that's how I met you. So that was part of pretty amazing. And you know, the thing is that there's a lot that I have had to take time to really decipher that dream, to kind of figure out what in the heck does this mean. And then I started piecing it together and realized, every time you have that dream, you meet something very interesting. You meet another powerful person. You meet, something to that nature. So,
And what I'm also picking up on that is it was empty. There wasn't anyone around. So it kind of makes me think of there were no other distractions, and that, those images really needed to be focused on. And so
right.
they were spherical, they were orb-like, or they
Mm-hmm.
were orb-like energies. And
Mm-hmm.
there were no other distractions. So that's quite amazing. That's beautiful.
And I think when I meet these, I've never when I come close to the energies in my dreams, they never have a shape, they never have a form, and they never have a sexual orientation. So it's never like, oh, you're going to meet a girl that's very strong, oh, you're going to meet a guy who's very strong. It's nothing like that. There's no it's just the energy. Like I'm like
Yeah.
I'm meeting their psychic gift, and then I meet them in person.
It's beyond the physical. It's beyond the ego. I tend to think that that this our physical bodies are, it's just a form. But what do we look like without this form? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I really like that. All right. So does anybody want anything standing out in a dream that you guys would like to know? We got a lot of hellos, but no questions. Kind of like tuning in, kind of listening in. And, when like I said, I had that dream not too long ago. I do know that we do dream on a regular basis. We don't always remember the dreams, but there are certain dreams that stand out. And I feel when we have these types of dreams, because they needed to stand out more for us to better understand. Maybe we didn't quite grasp it while we were sleeping, and maybe in waking light we can get a better understanding.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, especially in these times, where it's really scary. And also the media kind of makes things big and out of proportion,
Mm-hmm.
kind of sensationalized. So when I was talking about messy dreams,
Yeah.
I had a very messy dream. And so I'll tell you my dream.
Okay.
Um, I'm in the forest, and it was a very beautiful forest, lush green, and there was a
I like that.
small creek coming, along a small creek, and I see something at my left, and it's rustling, it's rustling in the bushes, and it's coming forward, and my dream self is thinking, wait a minute, it's a mouse. And then, no, wait, it's a deer. No, wait. And the animals were just getting bigger. They were just getting, and I can't see them. But then in the end, to my right, it turned into a silverback gorilla,
Oh, wow.
a huge silverback gorilla. And so what I did was I said, oh no, oh no. And every oh no, it doubled in size. It doubled in size.
Oh gosh.
And so, I'm thinking, I need to tone this down, because when I start to panic, it got bigger. And at that moment, my second oh no, and it had tripled in size, all of a sudden there was this narrator from National Geographic saying, and here we have a nice day, and the flora and fauna is blah, 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 And so that was part of the news that was calming me down,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
when I woke up, I thought, okay, I'm listening to sensationalized news, and I'm making it incredible. I'm the one, myself is saying, oh no, and I'm making it huge and out of proportion. So if I calm down and just listen to reason and rationality,
Mm-hmm.
it turns out to be a National Geographic documentary. So the medicine for me was that person,
Mm-hmm.
that started to explain things in a logical, rational, scientific, normal kind of, without drama.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was putting the drama in. As,
Right. You are adding to.
but a silverback gorilla, I've never seen one in person, but
Right.
I have seen them on National Geographic, right?
Yes.
But it was frightening. It was really, really frightening. I woke up exhausted.
Oh, I can imagine.
Oh, kachi kachi.
We got a question from Patty.
Okay.
She says, dreaming about my passed over dad getting hurt while he was sticking up for me. I was angry at some using people, woke as he was being violently hurt. why would he be giving me a message in that manner so awful?
Okay. May I ask, is your father, um, is he still alive? Because I don't know if I read it incorrectly, that he was passed. Is
Yes,
he?
he's passed.
He's passed.
Hmm.
So, the question about why would he give that kind of message? So there's different thoughts about this. When there's a visitation, you know, in my opinion, oh, he passed. Okay, I'm very sorry. Um, when there's a visitation, um, it's usually in the context of love, and 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 there's a gentleness to it. So now I'm wondering, since this was a violent ending, that there's still some pain that is being worked out within the psyche. So if I may say that parts of us, we have a masculine side and we also have a feminine side. So I'm wondering if it's that masculine side that is still feeling that pain, that, you know, that past violence, that past hurt. And so that's why I'm wondering if that's what's coming forward. Um, I'm, I can't really say that the actual father would be communicating these dangerous things to us unless it's a warning. But so that's why I'm wondering, or what I'm sensing is the masculine side still feeling that violent, still feeling that terrible hurt of how this passing occurred. So I wonder if that resonates. Is this a reoccurring dream? Did it just happen? Is it a dream that you've had once? Or does it keep coming up?
I was getting as well when it came to the dream and the way that it was when it, because it is a suicide, that the way it was coming through is that that hurt in which he was getting the infliction of hurt that was being put on him was her hurt being put on him, making it seem, was I the one hurting you, or what was hurting you? Like she was trying to figure out what the dream was. Like, why would they be hurting you? And is this how you felt? That's what I was getting. She did mention a few other things here.
Yeah. And I say it's okay a lot, but it was only a year and a half ago. Okay. Um, I was going to say something about that. I just lost my thought. What I'm, okay. I mean, again, this may require professional therapy. So I am only speaking from my heart. Um, when in a suicide thoughts, it has nothing to do with anyone else. It is only that person's thought. They're in their own maelstrom. So it isn't any reason anything that you could have done or that you did do or that was connected to the reason for the the self suicide. So that's why I'm wondering if there's still that sense of pain and anguish and hurt. And maybe that's going to take a while to smooth out. It's going to take a while to process that. My heart is very sorry. But I have a feeling that's going to take a little more time.
Absolutely. And yeah, Kimmy, tonight is our dream interpretation night. So we're doing dream interpretations. So we're not doing psychic questions tonight, but on our other shows we do psychic questions. But tonight is about dreams. All right. Well, we have another question here coming from Heavenly Moonlight. And Heavenly Moonlight says, I had a dream about twin boys. And a few nights ago, my boyfriend had the same dream. In my dream, I saw myself holding two baby boys. In my boyfriend's dream, he was delivering two baby boys. Wow.
Okay. So you said that your boyfriend had this dream. I'm getting a feedback, so I need to plug in. Okay. I think that's
Is that
interesting.
better?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Great.
I was getting a feedback. Okay, so two baby boys. So what I would like to ask is, what do the twin boys resonate with you? How, do you have children yourself? You had a dream about two twin boys, and how did that come about? Where did the boys come from? Because it looks like, it sounds, what I read was your boyfriend was delivering two boys. Okay,
I just put the question back up for you, so
okay,
you can
thank you. Yeah.
reference to it.
So you're holding two baby boys. Where did they come from? What do two baby boys remind you of? Twins run in your family, and we are trying to have our first baby. Oh, how wonderful, huh? Okay, so, again, boys are kind of the masculine side of our psyche. The number two, twins, the duality of life, looking at things from both sides. Relationship, the number two representing relationship, duality, decision making. And, the waking conscious self, thinking about, we're trying to have our first baby, and having that knowledge that twins run in the family. So I'm wondering if that kind of sparked it. But more so, because your boyfriend had that kind of dream, I'm just wondering if it's a duality thing, if it's a relationship thing, it's decision making, it's double your pleasure, double your fun, double your family happiness, something to that effect. Does that kind of make sense? I don't know why I'm still having a feedback here.
Let's take a look here.
Yeah, I was going to mention numbers in dreams, and that's wonderful to. Okay, in his dream, I was delivering the baby boys. So you were delivering the baby boys to him. So, again, the two boys, the masculine side, the duality, the relationship, um, that sharing. We were discussing having a son first. Okay. Yeah. So that could possibly be how the masculine side comes up when discussing having a son first. So, I would look at it as, again, the masculine side or the sun and the moon, having this sunlight, having brightness being delivered in life.
She says, yes, I was delivering the twin boys to him.
To him. Yeah, so that kind of service, that kind of, connection with the number 2.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Numbers are really fascinating in dreams, I think. With number 1, for example, that would be the beginning of something, the individual, the independent, the number 2, duality. Okay, he was crying out of joy in the dream, and he woke up crying too. So this was quite a significant dream of newness, of freshness, of double joy. Thank you for bringing that forward. That's really amazing. Good luck.
Exactly. And something to go similar along with what she's talking about is she was holding the babies in her dream, but she was delivering the babies to him in his dream. I've known only this to happen 2 times, myself being one of the examples, is laying next to my partner having a dream, waking up, and them having the same exact dream, and we were just sharing details that both of us had saw. It was like we were sharing the same dream, and I felt at the time it was because we were close. We were watching the movie together. There was that connection, a lot of the same thoughts going through our heads at that time. So
absolutely, that is, there are people that can actually visit each other in their dreams. I've never been able to do that. I think that's absolutely amazing. That's really advanced dreaming, I would say.
yeah,
but yes, that is definitely, that does happen, and
I
that's
would
amazing.
say that it doesn't happen all the time, but it has happened at least one time that we can recall. And we talked in the dream, but that kind of conversation, I don't think it really had a lot of significant energy. We knew that we said things to each other, but we didn't remember what we said to each other. We remembered the events that were happening within the dream. And we're like, oh my God, yes. And then we remembered the blue shirt, remembered the bouncing ball, and remember the horses that ran by. And so there was like little details, and we weren't quite sure whose dream it was, but was it his or was it mine, or was it 2 dreams put together into one. And, and I kind of figured it was his dream because he was dreaming about horses, loves horses. So
Oh,
I figured that was more along his symbolism or my symbolism for him
okay. Oh,
that it was a dream.
that's a very strong symbol, horses. I
Yeah?
mean, they're amazing. Um, they're amazing animals. Um, Horses can look right through you.
Oh,
I mean, they know who you are when you walk up to them. Oh my gosh. Horses just they can see the fear. They can really, it's like, oh, this one.
yeah. We're going to have fun with this one.
Yeah, because I have such high respect for horses, but they have this really powerful, um, I don't know what it is, but they can just look right through you.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that's awesome.
Oh my gosh.
He loves horses, so it was, and then I'm seeing horses in the dream, and he had the dream. There was horses in it. We were just like picking out certain things that we remembered from the dream, and then when one would say something, the other one would remember and be like, "Yeah," and then there was this, and then I would remember that part. And we kind of went back and forth a little bit with it, but it was really cool. And
Perfect.
so I've only done that one time, but that was, to me, was like very interesting that we were capable of having the same dream or be a part of each other's dream to combine it as one. And I didn't know if that was because we were laying in the same bed or we had the same energy or however we were connected at
Yeah.
that moment. But it was an absolute an amazing thing. So
And horses too. I'm back to the horses. It's charging forward.
mhm,
There's horses in the chariot
yes,
tarot cards. In some artists use horses, but it's just a moving forward, and they're herd animals, and
yes,
they're prey, but they're very wise. They're aware of their surroundings. They really sense what's going on. Oh, just fascinating. That's
yes.
wonderful. Yeah, that's a real connection there. Yeah, thank you for that. Jeez.
Yeah, it was very interesting, and it was just so because it was similar into the way because it felt like in their dream, he was having the beginning part of the dream, which she may not have remembered, but she was having the second part of the dream where she was holding the baby since they were already delivered. So
Yes.
that's what it triggered me on that, and I was like, I
And
remember.
yeah, it's that connection,
Yes,
that transference of, this new life, this joy, this twin joy onto someone who is very loving and woke up crying.
right. Right. It was so touching
Wow.
that they woke up in the tear state. That's kind of like when I was talking about the pain in my knee, and I woke up and I had the pain in my knee, and he was so emotionally touched by it, he woke up with the tears. So
Yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, there are dreams where our bodies feel something, and even though we're in the sleep state. And so, like I mentioned, in the dream state, there are certain things that go offline.
Hmm.
Our movement and our stimulus, our outside stimulus.
Hmm.
But there are some dreams that, you can feel like you're trudging in the snow, and the snow has icicles. You're stepping on, ice shards. And
Hmm.
then when you wake up, you realize that the window is open and the covers are off your feet. And so
Oh,
now your feet are just tingling cold.
right.
So these are stories that come from various sources, and I would encourage you to, for example, look at the IASD website, International Association for the Study of Dreams. And, it talks a lot about the dream story. And there's a lot of research that is done on connecting in dreams, what the dream self, how it travels from here to there. premonitional dreams,
Mm-hmm.
things of that nature. So there's a lot of wonderful information on that website. So
Awesome.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
something I would definitely like to check out. All right. Now, somebody mentioned in here that they said they do not dream at all. Kimmy says that she does not dream at all. So she's not sure
Okay.
why that's the case.
Well, um, what I would wonder is, going to bed with the intention of dreaming. Um, because as you mentioned, Ryan, we actually do dream,
Right.
but it's kind of going to bed in a relaxed state. Um, and the way we go to bed, how our circadian rhythm works, it's like it's time to relax. When we look at the computer, there's that stimulus, there's that blue light stimulus that keeps us awake. So I'm wondering if glasses, there's glasses that block out, some of the blue light, or I forgot what that is.
Yes.
Um, so lowering your stimulus before you go to bed, being nice and relaxed, and actually going to bed with the intention of remembering a dream, or the intention of dreaming. Going to sleep and say, I sure would like to have a dream. you know, or, gosh, this day was really rough. I wonder what dream is going to come up from this, or something to that effect, kind of bringing it the intention of dreaming. And then waking up slowly, try not to wake up with an alarm clock, or try not to just jump out of bed, run to the bathroom, just try
Right.
and wake up, just and then something might connect. um, there was a picture on the wall, and that might be it, but there's a snippet of a dream. Sometimes dream, when we go to sleep, we have cycles
Yeah.
that our dreaming self, or that our sleeping self, goes through. Sometimes that dream cycle, the dream happens in the last cycle, just before we wake up. So that's why, I would suggest waking up gently.
Yeah. Some.
And then, yeah, and then maybe writing it down. Literally, I used to dream in chapters. I had like, oh my God, my head is so full. And I would keep my eyes closed, and I would open my journal and write with my eyes closed because I didn't want to lose it. It's like there was so much going on, and I just kept my eyes closed. And when I opened my eyes, it was gibberish, but
Right.
your own gibberish.
Exactly.
Your own symbolic writing. So it's just that gentleness of waking up, and hopefully it's a practice. It's a
Exactly.
practice of remembering a dream.
Yeah.
I hope that helps. I hope that helps.
It
Well,
does.
this
And
and the fact that you're listening to this show and you're saying I don't dream, perhaps is an encouragement
absolutely.
for
Absolutely.
you to dream.
Exactly.
There's a definite interest there.
And Patty says, yes, I dream every night nearly, and remember them. I look forward to dream time like a movie night,
Yes.
and meditate right before sleep. Woke myself up giggling a few times lately. Oh, that's fun.
Yay. Yes.
But that's definitely fun. I've woken myself up with trying to have a stern conversation before in a dream, trying to get my point across, and I would wake myself up by being loud, by trying to say exactly what I was saying in my dream, and I've woke up laughing before. Um, I'm thankful that I've never had to wake up with the sadness of tears or anything like that. So I'm very thankful for that. But I've done quite a few of the other emotions. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
there's many different emotions that you can wake up to. Giggling's a good one. Definitely a good one. So hopefully the dream was hilarious.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we have come to the close of our show tonight. Now we are going to, tonight was our last show for 2 weeks. We will be back on December 31st to restore all the shows. We're taking 2 weeks to give us a chance to be with our families. It is the holidays, and give us a chance to do any late Christmas shopping or celebrate Hanukkah or anything else that, or any other traditions that you guys may be a part of. So we want you guys to have an amazing holiday season. We're going to catch you guys on the 31st. We will post about that, and we will get back to our dream interpretations, our psychic reads. And I do have a special guest coming. She's a well-known witch practitioner that'll be joining us, talking about some of her practices and giving people a better idea of that practice.
Wow.
Where
Yeah.
it's not where you see it in the movies. Talking about how some of the original witch practitioners were medicine women.
Absolutely. Oh,
So,
yes, yes, absolutely.
very,
That's going to be a fascinating subject. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, honey Kay, you didn't ask a question. You kind of told us what you were going to do, but you never asked a question. So we'll have to catch you next time, sweetheart. Sorry about that. All right. Well, thank you so much, Marin, for joining us tonight. It's always
My
a pleasure.
pleasure.
And we will be back on December 31st, bringing in the new year with all of us here at My Psychic Connection. Until then, everyone have a beautiful night, and we'll see you then.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.